Hey everybody, it's Big Rich here with Ohio Fish Rescue. I'm going to take you around the place and give you a little tour and different things and new stuff that's happened. But first, we got a special guest here. This is Chase.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
And Chase has, what's 8,000 gallon?
About 8,000, yes sir.
8,000 gallon tank. We've known him a while. We've talked to him many times over the past. But Chase is actually the one who hooked it up and got us our paddlefish.
Yes, sir, man. That was a late night, but I'm so glad they're here. I actually got to see him for the first time.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Awesome, awesome. So now about his tank. What's the dimensions on that?
So it's about 30 foot by 10 by about 4.5, 5 foot. I lost a little bit of tank actually when we did the concrete on it. So I was a little bit disappointed about that, but it's roughly about 8,000 gallons to the fill height. So nothing compared to anything like this,
Stop
guys.
it.
But
and you're going to fill that with monsters.
Monsters only. Has to be everyone's like, oh, you should do a community tank. You should do like a cichlid tank. I'm like, come on.
Could you imagine if that was a community tank with like rock work in the middle, just like a saltwater extravaganza tank?
It would be insane.
It would. You could snorkel with all the community fish, and there would be little schools of community fish. I wouldn't mind doing that myself. But we're here for a reason. We rescue fish. We have big fish, so we need big tanks for big fish.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Yeah, and guys, let me tell you all, the pictures and the videos of this place do not do it justice.
Oh,
These
stop.
tanks are absolutely massive, and the fish are even bigger. It's crazy.
What you think about that, TJ? Huh? You think he's right?
So I'm in the pond, right, when waders, and we have these big dip nets, and so they're all shooting at you like missiles. So you're getting hit with those rostrums like crazy, and you're trying to pick them up. And so to catch that platinum, I mean, we spent probably 5 hours just netting thousands and thousands. But I mean, they're all like, it's like they almost don't have a very good sense of where they are, but they just swing that sword into you almost like a swordfish would and just kind of whack you. Luckily, it's not sharp, but it's pretty cool to see. Like, they're such a weird fish.
But they're awesome fish.
Yeah, they're definitely
like
favorites.
Jerry was saying, when they come up and eat, they flip upside down and grab the food that's floating and go back down, and that's amazing. And then they filter feed. They open their mouth like a whale shark and walk around like that or swim around like that. The koi eat the food, and what the little particles come out their gills, the paddlefish clean the water of. You know, it's really, really neat. So we definitely want more paddlefish this summer, and you know, we're going to put some more in here, and then we're going to have some sort of feeding system for them for the wintertime, like throw brine shrimp in or something once a month or something, just enough to sustain them a little better.
I was thinking about just putting some dried food in a blender with some water and pouring it in the river.
You could do that too.
Awesome in there.
I'm just worried about doing it too consistently and having it form in the ice.
Right.
And have that mess melt out later.
Right.
Yes, yeah, I mean, and the cool thing too is I mean, they go perfectly with the koi as well, like you said, like they're a perfect
They
match.
never mess with the koi, nothing.
Yeah,
So-
the paddlefish keep eating during the winter.
Keep eating.
Lightly.
Yeah.
But still they keep eating.
I think what's the koi hibernation process here? Maybe 3 or 4 months, something like that?
No, whenever the water gets down below 55, we stop feeding.
Stop feeding, okay.
And then when it gets back above 55, we'll start again.
So just temps. Cleveland too, I'm sure it probably changes all
Probably
year, right?
6 months,
6
5 months,
okay.
6 months.
Man, those koi are massive though.
We have the other koi pond way back there. It goes all the way from that tree back there to over to the bamboo trees over here, and it's 80 foot wide. And on the fat end on this side, it's 30 foot from front to back, and then this side's 8 foot deep, and that side is about 25 foot front to back, and it's only 5 foot deep.
Gosh, I bet you next time I come here, Rich, you're gonna have all this land cleared out and have just one big, 2-acre pond.
You're getting to know me very well,
I know,
Chase.
Man. It's like you just keep expanding, keep growing. It's crazy. It's absolutely madness.
we don't expand the pond, but every couple of years you do got to clean out the bottom from all the sediment and all that stuff. So we'll scoop it, and maybe it gets a little wider by accident. By accident.
By accident, yeah. And it's crazy how clear it is too. Like you can literally see. I mean, it's hard to see on camera, but there's a koi down there. I can literally see like the detail on its head. That's just how clear the water. Look like a face. You see that one, Rich?
Yeah. You see where there's no plants over there? It's a nice clear spot. You can see the gravel.
Yeah. It's
All the way the rest around about a foot tall is just all kinds of different plants growing.
It's crystal clear.
They're not moving around enough.
Okay, guys, a little change from the fish part. I'm going to tell you a little something about what happened inside. You know, recently we have finally gotten nurses. We got a nurse for Monday through Friday, a nurse for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Well, the nurse has been here 2 months, and we thought she was a great nurse. But she's been very demanding. I'm going to quit if you don't remove these cameras out of here. I won't be watched. All right. So I removed the cameras out of there because that's how I watch Tracy and stuff. And then, she's going to quit if you. Oh, I got into an argument with Skylar because she's a little 23-year-old girl, so she's going to argue about things. And one time in the what have you been living here 11 months now?
Yeah.
Okay. Skylar's videoing. We got into an argument. Well, the nurse happened to be here, and she goes, "I won't put up with that. If you guys argue like that, I'm going to quit." And I'm just like, "Sheesh." Then I come in here, and she changed her hours. I got called by the company, and they said that, oh, she's not going to work no more on Thursdays, but we're going to change her Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays and add in 2 more hours in each one of them, and we'll get you another nurse for Thursdays. Well, the problem is they're eating up my extra hours. I needed nursing for the weekend. And if we fill this up, I'll never get the nursing for the weekend because I'm only allowed so many hours a week. And I told the nurse this, and I can't give you the 2 extra hours on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And she goes, well, if you don't do that, I'll just quit and I'll go work at this other place. And I told her, I'm like, wow, you're really mean. And, she said, it is what it is. And I'm like, wow, okay. So, things go on. Now, we were in here the other day, and she told me she's going to quit at the end of the month. And, poor Tracy. She said she's quitting at the end of the month. So I'm like, okay. I get on the phone, I call her company, and I'm like, okay, since this nurse is quitting, we need to find a nurse to fill her hours, And they're like, what do you mean she's quitting? And I'm like, just what I said. She told me she wasn't going to work no more, and that she's going to work in another company or something. And, they get on the phone with me. I guess they called her, and she come into the kitchen. Skylar was there, starts yelling at me and telling me, why would you call them? Like I told on her or something.
Well, she was like, why'd you tell them I quit? And you were like, because you told me you quit.
Yeah, she told me she's quitting, so I called them to find another nurse to make sure. I don't want things to overlap. Wait till she, quits, and then start looking for another. No, we can start looking now. So she yelled at me, and I told her, and she goes, yeah, okay, but still, you should have said. I'm like, why? You work for this company that we're paying for. You basically work for me. You're telling me you're quitting. I'm going to find another nurse. You only told the company things that she said to you. You didn't tell her anything that wasn't true. Right. So then she started screaming at me, and I'm like, wow, look, you're not a very nice person. You need to calm down. And it made her really mad. She started yelling at me and this and that. So I'm like, look, you're fired. I can't have you here in my life. Tracy don't need this yelling and screaming. I won't take the disrespect. So you're just fired. Go ahead and leave the house. And she wouldn't leave. I had to actually call the police. And before the police got here, she ended up leaving. But, she came to me and she wanted me to sign her out. I took the laptop and I put it over where it belongs. And she called the company and said, he snatched it out of my hands and slammed it closed and then slammed it down on the counter. And I'm like, I'm talking to the company now because they want to know why I would do that to their computer. I'm like, absolutely not. That did not happen. And he goes, well, she said it did. And I'm like, well, here's a good thing. She wouldn't allow cameras in the living room with her, but I have a camera in the kitchen covering the whole kitchen area because that's where most people hang out. So let me go back on the cameras and I'll get you a video clip of it and I'll send it to you. So here it is. It turns out she walked up, she set it on the counter. I took my hands out of my pockets, picked it up, walked it over where it belongs, where it gets plugged in, and then closed the lid and plugged it in and put my hands back in my pocket and walked off. I'm like, it has the date on there and the time, everything. I'm like, she's straight lying. Here you go, Jim. I sent you a picture of it, the video of it. So, I don't know what's wrong with her, but she's gone. So for the last 2 days, I've been working, 24 hours a day, and so that's 48 hours straight. But because Skylar helps me, she let me get a couple hours sleep each morning, and I'm back on the schedule I used to be on. So I fell asleep around 9 and woke up at 12 today, and because we had community service coming over. And Chase, of course, was coming. So I got me 3 hours sleep last night. Feel great. But hopefully we'll get a new nurse in here and things will keep going. It just, when you're hiring all these different people, I got no background checks or nothing, and you're inviting them into your home. It's just crazy that they want to treat you like this. I would never go to somebody else's home and say, look, I'll work here, but I'm going to quit if you don't do this or don't do that. I don't understand that, And all in all, it is that person, the homeowner, that is paying for it. Whether it's coming from the waiver program or not, I am the boss. I will have you removed. You know what I'm saying? Don't treat me like that. So she's gone. The other nurse is a sweetheart, and that's another thing. She kept on leaving nasty messages for the other nurses
And reporting them.
and reporting them to the company. Yeah, and I'm like, why? You know, the one time the one nurse didn't do laundry or something like that, and she made a big stink about it. I'm like, listen, I would do the laundry. I do the laundry before you came for, going on 3 years now. I would do it just to keep fighting down and no problems between nursing, So I just don't understand her. She's just a mean person, and she pretended to be nice, and in the end, her meanness came out.
So now,
okay.
Now we don't have a nurse for the weekdays, but at least on the bright side, you do have more hours, so you will be able to get that Saturday night filled that you need.
God, if I can find someone to work the weekend, Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to update you on that. Our Tracy's doing great. She's down on hardly no oxygen. She's keeping it up on her own.
Yeah, she's on 2. That's the lowest she's been in, what, like 3-4 months?
Well, 2 months or so. She was doing really good, and then she got sick, and we had to give her on antibiotics, and she's been up on 3.5 since. It's the first time she's been down on 2 and staying at 99, 100 the whole time. She's doing great. So, and this, this is all stuff that you guys have sent in, all her, little gifts and stuff. So I appreciate you guys. Her Team Tracy movements. Look at her shirts. So thank you guys for all the I love the love that comes from you guys. I appreciate that. But for you guys, I'll get back out there and let's go back to fish. All right, Chase, so you have to leave by 4:30, so you got your plane to catch and stuff.
Yes, sir.
So it's getting to be about that time. If you want to tell everybody your thoughts of the place, and we'll let you go.
Guys, I have been following Ohio Fish Rescue for the last 5 years, watching almost every single YouTube video, Fishy Fridays, all that stuff, and
how does it feel seeing your own fish here?
It's crazy. Like, when Rodrigo texted me and said, hey, we're bringing these paddlefish up to Ohio Fish Rescue, I literally stayed up, all night just so we could get them here, because I knew there would be, no better place to have them than here, just because, you can come here, people can come and visit, see them on display.
So many people enjoy them, too.
And you you really can't go anywhere else and see paddlefish. They're such a rare fish. You have to have so much space for them, and then, obviously you all have spent thousands of dollars putting the time and effort into these fish to give them the proper homes, and I can't believe at how big these tanks are, how big the fish are. Everything is also immaculate as far as health. It's pretty crazy. There's nothing else like this that I've ever seen on Earth. This, I just a lot to take in, so I'll probably have to at least need another week before I can just think about all the stuff I've seen here. But it's just been amazing time.
Okay, beautiful. So if you want to sign off with us, our tagline. Stay fishy, my friends.
Yes, sir.
Very good.